This guy, he speaks about, the brother Polite, he speaks about Egyptology and Kemet. Y'all familiar with Kemet, Egyptology, and all these different things? So he speaks about that, and he said they're the one that created everything, the laws of Ma'at, all of this stuff, and there's no such thing as the Israelites. We serve the God of Egypt, and all of this, right? So he exalts the ways of the Egyptians in Kemet over the ways of the Bible and the words of God, right? Now, the reason why this lesson is called God is Not Mocked is going to show so many things that he did. The Most High didn't judge him for it yet. All the words that he spoke, the Lord didn't judge him for it yet, right? So he thought God forgot what he said. Let's go with this video first. God is not mocked. Where you at? Where you at, playboy? And this is a lesson for everybody, right? Watch your mouth. Be careful what you say. So,
that's what you're telling us when you tell us that somebody gonna come out the sky.
So this is a video of him shooting the Bible. Literally.
Great shooting me soon. Hold on, can't see the rest of the sentence. Too much fucking holes in it. Look at that shit. That's right. Now it's the Holy Bible. That's right.
So that's him shooting the Bible.
Clearly the Holy Bible right now. Act like y'all never seen this before. We saw this February 8th. It's just gonna be worse. It's gonna be worse. Look what we did. The Bible, the bullet. That's what I want them to hear.
Get Isaiah 34
This
and
is
16.
powerful. They follow a God. We can't do our
That's the
conference
book
because
of
people are
Isaiah,
dying.
chapter
So that
34,
means
verse
people are
16.
dying on God's watch. So,
Seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read. No one of these things shall fail, none shall want her mate.
It says, seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read. But what this idiot did, he cursed the Lord God and also shot the words of God, the Bible, for mockery. Right? Read that again.
Seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read. No one of these shall fail, none shall want her mate. For my mouth it had commanded, and his spirit it had gathered them.
Now, for the chemists and the Egyptologists, they follow the book of the dead or the coffin text. Right? But God is the God of life. He's not the God of death. So he shoot the Bible, and he thought the Lord forgot about that. Even a Jake, no matter how wicked Jake is, he wouldn't do that. No matter how wicked Jake is. In my honest opinion, I believe he a Hamite. That's just my opinion. I believe he a Hamite. Because no matter how, Jake, no matter what, he can sell drugs, kill 1,000 people, he still believe in God. He would not shoot that Bible, no matter what. Right? But he don't give a damn. Let me get 1 Maccabees chapter 1. Let me show you.
I think he a Jake. And that's what's going to kind of make it all the more sweeter. Because you don't believe in the laws of your God. You don't believe, you let the shadow of Egypt be your fail.
Right.
Like Isaiah chapter 30 and verse 2 says.
Yeah, we're going to get into that one too.
You're going to get it now. It's right for you. I got to preach that real quick.
Read your precept out.
This is the book of 2 Chronicles, chapter 36 and verse 16. But they mocked the messengers of God and despised his words and misused his prophets until the wrath of the Lord arose against his people till there was no remedy. So now look at you. You mock the messengers of God, got the idiot right next to you, talking about that's right. Yeah, he knows who he's mocking. All right? He's mocking the messengers of God. Right? That was the book of 2 Chronicles, chapter 36 and verse 16. Right? And he misused, right, his prophets. Right? Misusing the words of the Most High God. Right? The laws and the prophets within the Bible. Using it as target practice. Now he's put up in jail and there's no remedy for that. And now you're a pedophile for the rest of your life. You can't pick up your daughter from school. All right? You can't, don't even show up near a school.
Oh.
If you live near a school, you better move. All right? Once you come out from them 14 years or 7 years, right, it's rats for you because now the whole block finna get you. The Lord finna send hell towards your way.
That's just all he got right now. He still got pending cases against him. charges against him that he can face up to 5 years on each one of them at a minimum.
Con.
When they get done with him, he'll have a good 20, 25. He'll be all right.
He gonna come out of raising, man.
Yeah, he gonna get First Maccabees 156. He gonna be holy, all right, but it's not in the way you think. He gonna have a whole bunch of holes in him. Boy, big Rex. God, hold that real quick. Get First Maccabees 156.
This is First Maccabees chapter 1 and verse number 56.
Look how the heathens treated our book. The heathens, right? Bring it out.
And when they had rent in pieces the books of the law,
See, the Bible, they did what?
which they found, they burnt them with fire.
You see? So they ripped the book of the Bible, the pages, and then they burned the books. Like China is doing right now. Like in that movie, Book of Eli. Eli was the only man on the earth that had the last book of the Bible. And the whole world was trying to get him. They was trying to kill this man to get that book. But what they didn't realize, he already had everything memorized in his mind. Literally. But what's funny about this guy, he shoot the book of the Bible and he exalts his people, the Egyptians or whatever, say they're the greatest people on the earth, right? Get Revelation chapter 1 and verse 3.
It's Revelations chapter 1 and verse 3. Blessed, Salakia, blessed is he that readeth,
And get second.
and they that hear the words of this prophecy.
Right. Blessed are you that readeth. What is the Lord telling you to read? The book. And they that hear the words of the prophecy. Where are you going to find the prophecies? In this book. This idiot don't even know he literally lived prophecy right now. Right? That's it on that.
And keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand.
But he has no respect for the words of God. Even Elder Zabak said it. He said he knew this man since the 90s. And he said his man always had that spirit that he hated the words of God. He hated the Bible. And the elder kept telling him, yo, King, I hear you with the Egyptology stuff, but you better be careful, man. Because the Lord gonna get you. The elder been telling him that since the 90s. Bring what you got, King.
This is 2nd Ezra chapter 15 and verse number 1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true.
For they are what?
For they are faithful and
The
true.
Lord said, write them down in paper. He gave the spirit unto the prophets to prophesy and to write these things down. It's called records. Every nation got a record of their history. What about the children of Israel? Every nation got a record of the flood. What about the children of Israel? Right? And it says, write it down in paper. Now, what's funny about this? Bring what you got out.
This is the book of Exodus chapter 11 and verse 7. But against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue, against man or beast, that ye may know how that the Lord does put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel.
The Lord put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel. God is not dealing with the Egyptians. Matter of fact, the 10th plague was the Lord killing the firstborn sons of everybody. And the Lord told our people to put the blood on the doorpost to protect us from that death angel. But the Egyptians, he killed, he put to death. Now watch this, man.
There's an all-knowing God who, for whatever reason, hasn't decided after the 12th believing in no crazy shit like that, because they've been selling this to us for years. So they made me atheists. Hebrew Israelites made me atheists.
Madness.
Get Psalms 14. He said the Israelites made him an atheist.
He said
We say we might be atheists. Like we atheists.
Wait a minute.
Christians made me.
What?
That's because people are dying. So that means people are dying on God's watch. So, why should I believe in him? When is God going to save our people? See, I can't be believing in no crazy shit like that, because they've been selling this to us for years. So, they made me atheists. Hebrew Israelites made me atheists. Christians made me an atheist. Muslims made me an atheist.
No, he said made him.
On a
Yeah.
half-
He said the Israelites made him an atheist. The Christians made him an atheist. Why? Because he's waiting for God to deliver the people. And he said the Lord is taking too damn long.
See that?
Right?
Appreciate it real quick.
No, I guess it would seem that way to somebody that don't understand the Bible or read the Bible
Or read it.
under the law to understand that something has to be done first in order for you to be saved.
Come.
So Negroes, by your own account, you're perpetuating the reason why ain't nobody being saved yet, nigga.
Because you the problem.
Dumbass.
Bring it out, Al.
Now, this is the book of Sirach, chapter 2 and verse 14.
Come.
Woe unto you that have lost patience, because the brothers, he said, When is our God gonna save our people? I can't believe no crazy stuff like that. You see that? He lost patience. It says, and what will ye do when the Lord shall visit you? What you gonna do when the Lord finna chop you up, man? You gonna
see
say,
his mugshot. That's what he gonna do. Look just like that.
right?
And Salakia, this is the year of the mugshots, man. You see Trump?
Finish.
He going like D say, he's gonna be back in the Pokémon. Right? You see this nigga from New York, this bastard Edomite, de Blasio, Mayor Giuliani, that piece of crap, man.
Right.
That man, go ahead. That's it on it?
Yeah, that's it on that.
All right, bring what you got, King.
This is Psalm chapter 14 and verse number 1. The fool have said in his heart, there is no God.
Hey, he's blaming us, saying we made him an atheist. He's blaming God, saying that there's no God. He's an atheist now. Read on.
They are corrupt. They have done abominable works.
They have done what?
Abominable works.
That's why he's being charged for rape. That's why we need a God. If there's no God, you will not be in order. There's no rules. There's no structure. There's no instructions. Right? So you can do whatever the hell you want. And guess what? He's a Mason. And the calling with them is what? Do as thou wilt.
Mm-hmm.
Read on. Alistair Crowley. Read on.
There is none that doeth good.
See, there is none that doeth good. That's it on that?
Come.
Right, so.
Truth. That's what they did. They sold me on a half-truth. And the more they perpetuate this half-truth, the more unconvincing the story becomes. So there's an all-knowing God who for whatever.
So here's another thing. He's making a false accusation for one. He's bearing false witness against the Israelites. Because for one, Israelites just now actually coming out, even talking and teaching about the Bible.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I understand 69 with the elders and One West and all that. But Negro, you grew up in a damn Christian, Baptist, Mormon church somewhere. Right. So blame it on Esau.
Right.
Turns you to a damn atheist. Right. Because since the Israelites been on the scene, we ain't never told you or said none of the stuff you saying out of your mouth. We tell you keep the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, or you will be put to death. Correct. Or some tragic calamity will fall upon you.
Right.
So if you're an atheist, it ain't because of the Israelites, nigga.
Check.
And even before, I'm gonna get the source that I'm quoting later on. But even before the 60s, the Israelites have always been teaching. All right, in Ireland in the 1400s, there's accounts up in a certain dictionary. I'm gonna get that source that our people was speaking against the Catholic Church in the 1400s, and they had signs of slavery and destruction. That's what that dictionary says. I'm gonna get that source because that's a strong source up in the 1400s, and these are scholars that are way beyond us. You know what I'm saying? Them scholars were speaking 10 languages, right? But nothing new is under the sun, and the Lord got us in their same stead. And so ain't nothing new up underneath the sun. And just like ain't nothing new about him underneath the sun. He just gonna always be rebellious. I'm a grab.
Even to that point, even in Ghana. You know what I'm saying? The tribe, the portion of Israel that's still over in Ghana.
Right.
They still up to this day been still teaching, thus say the Lord, know who we are.
And the history too.
You know what I'm saying? They got the history.
Now, there's two different types of Israelites. There's one like him, and then there's those like us, right? Jeremiah chapter 1 and verse 5, right? Because his actions are ordained by the Most High above all, right? This is the book, and this is talking about us. Jeremiah chapter 1 and verse 5. Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. And before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee, and I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations. So the way that we are right now is the way that the Lord God ordained us. But the way that he is ordained by the Most High God too, right? Jude chapter 1 and verse 4, right? For there are certain men crept in unawares, who were before of old ordained to this condemnation. So the Lord ordained them from old. Everything written aforetime was written for our learning. He was one of them people that hated the Lord and hated Christ. It says ungodly men. Go
And
ahead.
that's part of the balance that he has to have.
Come on.
Because if you just only hearing this side of it without seeing the opposing aspect of it, then the power and the might of the Most High can't be displayed.
Right.
The naysayer has to exist so that when he do come forth and deliver his people, then you'll be able to see the completion like, oh wow, they was for real.
Right. It says ungodly men turning the grace of our God into lasciviousness and denying the only Lord God and our Lord Yahweh Shai Mashiach. I will therefore put you into remembrance, though ye once knew this, how that the Lord, having saved the people out of the land of Egypt, afterwards destroyed them that believe not. The nigga will be destroyed by the Lord. Like, go ahead.
You had a precept?
Come
All right, good. Let's do that. Let's line up. Bring it up. And write down the precept, sisters. You got it?
Based on my brother yesterday, it was on Galatians 6 and 7. We
Yeah.
not deceive. God is not mocked. For whoso-
That's
for
Galatians 6 and
whatsoever
7.
Man sow it, that he shall also reap.
See, he sowed an evil seed, he gonna reap evil and destruction unto his own self.
So check this. Get Ezekiel chapter 12 and verse number 22.
This is Ezekiel chapter 12 and verse number 22.
This is a good precept. It's going to tie in because people's rushing the Lord, not knowing the Lord already has everything set up. Right? I'm going to show you how. Bring it out.
Son of man. This is Ezekiel chapter 12 and verse number 22. Son of man, what is that proverb that ye have in the land of Israel, saying, the days are prolonged, and every vision faileth?
You see? So the people was mocking the Lord and the prophets. Yeah, the Lord said judgment come. You said judgment. I don't see a damn thing happening. Right? It said the days is prolonged. This joint is taking too damn long. They complaining. Every vision faileth. All the prophecies you talking about, the missiles is coming, you're lying. America's going to get destroyed, you're lying. Right? Read on.
Verse 23. Tell them therefore, thus saith the Lord God, I will make this proverb to cease, and they shall no more use it as a proverb in Israel.
See, the Lord said He's going to stop all of this. Why? Jump to verse 28.
Verse number 28. Therefore say unto them, thus saith the Lord God, there shall none of my words be prolonged any more, but the word which I have spoken shall be done, saith the Lord God.
Right, so the Lord is pissed off. He said, all right, you think I'm just playing games? I'm going to speed up the time. Right? Get Habakkuk 2 and 5. And then let's go back to the video. I think it's 2 and 2.
This is,
Though it's hard, wait for it, they shall surely come. It's like they said in Amos chapter 5. Woe is him that's looking for the day of the Lord. The day of the Lord is darkness and not light. You talking about you waiting for a God to show up, not knowing that the Most High God is right there, right in front of you. How did the Lord show up? The situation that He put you in. Every word you spoke, it literally backfired on you.
Right.
Bring it out,
you said Habakkuk 2?
Yeah, Habakkuk 2 and 2.
This is Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse number 2. And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it.
Right, you know?
For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak.
But at what?
But at the end it shall speak.
See, it didn't say at the beginning. It said at the end the vision shall speak. What is that vision? Now your ass is locked up. And you're locked up for what? Being a predator and a pedophile. Right? And a child molester. But you called everybody else a rapist and a child molester, when it was actually you the whole time. Read on.
But at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it.
Though the Lord is setting up the judgment on him perfectly. He didn't see this coming. He want to mock the Lord God. Read on.
Because it will surely come.
But the Lord said it's surely going to happen. Read on.
It will not tarry.
It will not tarry. Right? Hold this. Watch this.
Whatever reason hasn't decided after the 1,200 years from the transatlantic slave trade, after the 400.
Let me speed it up.
God doesn't exist because a big part of spirituality is common sense. And once you lose common sense, you lose sense of spirituality.
And that's
Users for information.
That's not accuracy either, because for your sense to be common, you gotta first acknowledge the source of your sense.
Right.
So where was your common sense instilled in you from? Was it from your worldly ass mother and father and grandparents who was teaching you the world way? Or was it from somebody who was actually raising you up, teaching you from the scriptures? So to make that statement, nigga, we got to question where your common sense comes from.
And that's the
Because
key.
Knowledge of the world is foolishness with the Lord. So if you didn't grow up with this book, then your common sense doesn't equate to the answers in this book. You're going to always come up short.
Well, you know what's crazy? He's right though too. You know why? Because the sense that he got it from a guy named Malachi Z. York,
Who was a pedophile.
who was a pedophile. So who is your teachers?
Exactly.
You see?
He in jail right now
Right.
too, doing life.
So watch
The
this.
defendant will complete the MDSO program. The defendant will not be allowed to have unsupervised contact with children. The defendant will have specific terms regarding where he may work and the ability to wear a uniform. There are additional terms of restitution, of which $5,000 has been agreed to be paid upfront within 24 hours mailed to the to the victim, and additional restitution to be paid out on a monthly basis once he is out of custody. And that monthly amount is highlighted in the written terms of the plea agreement. Additionally, there will be a stay-away order from victim TS and her mother, which is also mentioned in the plea agreement.
What is the total amount of the restitution?
The total amount of restitution is $25,000.
Okay. All right.
So basically what they're talking about, they're reading the rap sheet of all the things that he done. And that he got to pay $5,000 immediately within 24 hours. And then the total he got to pay is $25,000. Why? Listen.
Yes, sir. Okay. All right. Okay, so Mr. Nowak, the terms of the plea agreement are as what the prosecutor just stated, that you are going to be entering a plea of guilty to the 2 counts of aggravated child abuse and 1 count of contributing to the delinquency of a minor. You will be adjudicated guilty, which is a criminal conviction on your record. Do you also understand from entering into this plea that it may subject you to involuntary civil commitment proceedings set forth in Florida statutes 394.910 through 394.931? Do you understand everything that I've said thus far?
Yeah.
Woo! Why is this important? Because this man got 1,000 videos telling him saying to himself that he didn't do it. He didn't commit the crime. He's innocent and that they dropped the charges. And that he's not going with no plea deal. So if you ain't going with no plea deal, why they got audio of you agreeing to it? Because you actually did it. And they got evidence. And they got paperwork. So behind the scenes, he didn't want people to hear this. But in social media right now, he got videos talking about they dropped the charges. When they had Israelites in the courthouse literally watching. Because they was watching the trials and everything. They was literally inside the courthouse. The man tried to have his lawyer kick them out the courthouse.
Right.
But even the judge said, hey, you can't kick them out. Because this is how court works. This is the proceedings with court. Anybody could come in.
It's public knowledge.
It's public knowledge. So he didn't want none of this information to come out. Why? Because he mocked the Lord God. And he didn't want to get caught. So look what happens, man.
And his high profile status, you don't want to wear the shame of it.
Right.
How you speak so mightily about our people, and the black woman's supposed to be God, and she's supposed to be treated on a pedestal and all this, and you turn around and rape her.
Well, look at this.
Okay. Now, I want to also advise you, sir, that you are going to be sentenced to 7 years in state prison.
Woo! What did the Lord do? Completion
Completion.
on his ass. 7 years completion. The nigga don't believe in the Bible? Well, your ass about to do 7 years like Jacob. You don't believe in the Bible? Your ass about to get locked up like Joseph. That's what's happening. Joseph got locked up where? In Egypt. Jacob had to do what? 7 years for Leah and for Rachel. Extra 14 years in total. 21 years. What is the Lord doing to this man? You don't believe in my Bible, my word of God? So guess what? I'm going to put you in the damn Bible. You're going to be a character, nigga. Slack it. You're going to be a character. You're going to be living in it. Now you're going to be in a prison. Talk about please. Nigga, please. You're going to be in a prison now talking about God. 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 No, you like little girls, huh, boy? You like a little girl, huh? God, no, God. Wait, hold on, right? Watch this,
To be
man.
followed by 10 years of reporting probation.
And guess what? The number 10 also means completion. So the Lord caught him twice, 7 and 10. And what's funny, this is the 7th month of the Hebrew calendar right now. The month that we in, about to celebrate the Feast of Trumpet, which is the high new moon. Why is the high new moon? Because it's the 7th month. 7 represents completion. And then also the month September. The word September comes from septim, which means what? 7. The word October comes from octo, which means what? 8. So look how cold the Lord is. The Lord caught this devil on the 7th month of the Hebrew calendar, in the Hebrew calendar, and in the modern calendar, which is September, which means 7. And gave him 7 years.
In addition to any of these special conditions of probation, you will also participate in and successfully complete a mentally disordered sex offender.
A mentally disordered sex offender
program.
So hold on. So you call everybody else a rapist, pedophile here and there, this and that, and now the Lord put the paper in the legal paperwork that you the actual pedophile now. And the sex offender. And you got 2 little girls? That's crazy.
You would never be able to be alone around ever again.
Never. Never.
That you are also not eligible. Okay, you may, according to the state, you may be eligible for.
And look at the picture. That's his 2 wives. And he had 4 in total. I think 5 in total. He even had a white woman. But he said the black woman is God. And you married a white woman. You have 5 wives in total. What the hell are you doing with a 14-year-old girl?
Determination of all of the conditions of your probation have been completed, that you have had no violations of your probation, and that you have not been arrested for any other criminal offense. Is that correct, State?
And to clarify, the terms stated in 5 is there is no prohibition on early termination. However, there is a requirement that any modification to this agreement be agreed by the state and the court.
Okay. All right, sir. Now, with respect to this plea agreement, I have on each page next to defendant's initials MN. Did you in fact affix those initials to each page?
I did.
And have you?
What are those colors?
Black, blue, red, purple.
Right. Only look at what are the 3 at the bottom?
Yeah, that's him mocking. That's Israelites the color scheme for Israel.
Tabernacle.
Yeah.
That's a tabernacle.
You see? God is not mocked. That's the Israelite color scheme right there. Right?
View each and every component of this plea agreement going through page 1 and through page 4. Now it says on page 4, having read the above mentioned terms of this plea agreement and having been advised by my counsel, David Terrace, I, Michael Note, freely and voluntarily enter into this plea agreement and agree to abide by all terms and conditions of this plea agreement, and agree that failure to comply with any terms or conditions within this agreement constitutes a violation of probation and subjects me to be sentenced to the statutory maximum penalties provided by law for the crimes for which I am now pleading guilty. And then it has a signature over the name Michael Noah. Is that in fact your signature, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right. And I am now going to place my signature on this plea agreement, in that I am now going to be ratifying this plea agreement as negotiated between the state of Florida and your attorney. As it?
That's called a fold 2 conference. When you go in and you know you can't beat the case, so you automatically go in and you cop out or plea of guilty for the minimum sentence.
Bring your precept out.
Proverbs chapter 1, verse 26.
Proverbs 1 and 26.
I will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh.
You gotta say loud.
I was gonna say that because when he was going back to it, how he was mocking the Most High, doing everything. Now the Most High made him get charged on the 7th, like you said, man. A 7-year charge and a 10-year probation. That's the Most High, mock his calamity. You mock the Most High, now I'm gonna mock you.
Bring what you got, Ken.
Let me backing off of what Ak was talking about with the, mocking the messages of God, right? Kind of disrespecting the messages of the Most High, the prophets of the Most High, right? And the whole time he don't know that, he think that he fighting against us with all the debates, right? With all the false accusations, right? He think he fighting against us, but ultimately he's fighting against the Most High, right? So this is Acts, right? Acts chapter 5 in verse number 39. But if it be of God, ye cannot overthrow it. Less happily ye be found even to fight against God, nah? Right? So all these things of years of him just disrespecting ultimately the Most High God, but he think he's disrespecting us, right? He's the whole time fighting against the Most High, right? So let's get another one, right? First Esdras chapter 1 and verse number 50, or verse number 51. It says, but they had his messengers. I'm going to start at verse number 50. Nevertheless, the God of their fathers sent by his messengers to call them back, because he spared them in his tabernacle. So that's what the Most High God does to us. He kind of sends us out on the highways and byways to wake up our people. And ultimately, that's probably what happened with first encounters with Polite, now, right? Brothers kind of went to him, right? Tried to show him the way, tried to show him who he was, but he didn't want to have none of it, right? Verse 51, it says, but they had his messengers in derision, right? They kind of disrespecting the messengers of the Most High, right? And that's what that brother been doing, like you said, from Elders Above, from the 1980s, 1990s, right? He's been disrespecting the Israelites from even back then, man, even to in 2023, right? It says, but they had his messengers in derision, and look, when the Lord spake unto them, they made a sport of his prophets. That's a precept to the 2 Chronicles 36 and 16. When they mocked the messengers of God, they made a sport with them, right? Basically, kind of talking down on them, right? Trying to blaspheme the name of the Lord, right? And that ultimately, that's why the judgment is coming upon Polite, and he getting these X amount of years of completion, because the whole time he been fighting against the Most High the whole time. All right, get one more precept. Isaiah 41. Last one. Number completion, right? Isaiah chapter 41 and verse number 11. It says, behold, all they that were incensed against thee shall be ashamed and confounded. They shall be as nothing, and they shall strive, and they that strive with thee shall perish. And that's what's happening with Polite, right? He's been confounded and ashamed, right? He had no choice but to plead guilty, man. Right? He's at this point where he's ashamed and confounded, and now the Most High made him as nothing. Because at a point in time, he was bragging about how much money he had, all this knowledge he got. He making videos after videos after videos, right? Blaspheming the name of the Lord, and the Most High made him as nothing. And now it's coming to a point where the Most High might make him perish. Because things like this, and you going into prison like this, this over the news. They gonna see what you done did when you go into that prison. So, the Most High might just put him to death now. Right? Even if he get out, it's over with.
And Slocky, you know what's different between this case and the R. Kelly case? Both of them might seem similar, but you don't got R. Kelly debating the Israelites and cursing the Most High God and mocking them and shooting the Bible. This man might not make it.
Right.
He might literally not make it. It's not against the prophets or the men of the law or those that's teaching the words of God. No, this is against you and the Most High. You might not make it. All right? Let me just show this one video before you bring out your precept. This is just proof right here. Watch this. Yeah, we got the facts today on this.
The Bible has made it clear that it's permissible to read. Why are we still reading the Bible? It's not all right. It's not all right. Scripture says you can do it.
okay? Right here. They gonna hate me. They gonna hate me. Anyway, Michael Noah, aka Brother Polite, as you guys know him as, was just released from Miami, and he was charged with raping his girlfriend, his 14-year-old daughter, okay, in a hotel room. All right, now, and before you say, oh, they just trying to take him down, no, they got his motherfucking seat.
I want to look it down up road.
So
Because he just
Leviticus
lied.
20 and 12.
In that video, he said that the Bible gives man permission to rape a woman. And this is what happens when niggas don't know the Bible. I'm tired of people kind of lying on the laws of the Lord like that. This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 22 and verse 25.
22 and 25.
That's the spirit. 'Cause I was waiting on y'all to finish. I was going to bring it out.
That's why he getting it at toe up, man. Right? But if a man find a betrothed damsel in the field, and the man force her and lie with her, then the man only that lay with her shall die. But unto the damsel thou shalt do nothing. So the nigga that forced himself on the woman, he's supposed to die according to the law.
Exactly.
It says, but unto the damsel thou shalt do nothing. There is in the damsel no sin worthy of death. For as when a man riseth against his neighbor and slayeth him, even so is this manner. So raping a woman is like unto murder unto another person.
It's like killing her.
So how can you twist the scriptures and try to say that it's lawful to rape a woman? That's dumb. You just want an excuse you want a community behind you for your plans with that little girl, and that wasn't even your daughter. That was your stepdaughter, bro, and 14-year-old stepdaughter. That's disgusting.
So check this. This everything we're bringing out. If you notice, we're going back to our book, the Bible, laws and commandments of God. Right? Look at this law right here, Leviticus 20 and 12.
This is Leviticus chapter 20 and verse number 12. And if a man lie with his daughter-in-law,
if a man lies with his daughter-in-law, right? What happens?
Both of them shall surely be put to death.
You see that? That means if he sleep with his wife's daughter, he gotta get killed. He gotta get put to death. But it said both of them. That means if she's with it,
willingly,
right? If she does it willingly, but she didn't do it willingly,
right?
So who gotta die then? He gotta die. Bring it out, King.
This is Deuteronomy, same one, 22 and 24. But that's what it speaks to in verse 24. Then it says, I'm just start at 23. If a damsel that is a virgin be betrothed unto a husband, and a man find her in the city and lie with her. Now remember, virgin don't literally mean necessarily that she never had sex before. It also means that she's of marriageable age. She's old enough to be married.
Right.
It says, then ye shall bring them both out unto the gate of the city, and ye shall stone them with stones that they die. The damsel, because she cried not, being in the city, and the man, because he has humbled his neighbor's wife, so thou shalt put away evil from amongst you. But this girl cried out.
Right.
So she was being taken against her will.
Right.
So the Lord, and the wheels that are being set in motion right now, him being convicted of this and going to jail, that's just part one. You don't know what demonic spirits the Lord got raised up behind them walls. He may never make it out the penitentiary. He may never do his 7 years. Niggas might catch him in the shower and stab his ass up. Because why? What Gabar just bring up in verse 25. That's a death sentence what he did.
Right.
That's a sin unto death. But in order for the person that the Most High need to exact that judgment on him, might be a nigga behind walls. So he got to first get him back there by having him found guilty.
And no matter how much he hates the Bible, on the real, he's a part of prophecy. Right? Look at this. Deuteronomy chapter 5, and I'm gonna start at verse 6. Because the Egyptologists, they real life hate the Bible. Right? Even though when you go to the Merneptah Stele, or I think it's the Kerneptah Stele, it speaks about Israel being captive into Egypt. And that's an Egypt artifact that's saying this. So the children of Israel are real, and all the accounts that are spoken about up in the Bible are real in general. Right? So this is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 5 and verse 6. I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt from the house of bondage. It says, out of the land of Egypt. It says, thou shalt have none other gods before me. But Polite does, because he yields to the gods of Egypt. Right? Thou shalt not make any graven images or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in earth beneath, or that is in the waters beneath the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself unto them, nor serve them, for I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generations of them that hate me. Now, Polite's father did the same thing. You're a part of prophecy now, because now the sins of your father is upon you, because you didn't want to yield to the righteousness of the Lord. You wanted to go about your own righteousness. So now look at you. A person who hates the Bible is now in the Bible, and is part of prophecy.
So watch this.
Flexible financing for vet care.
Yeah, it's about to be a veteran. You're about to be a veteran.
Well, he normally garners attention for his online posts, but now this social media influencer and motivational speaker is making headlines for the wrong reason.
And they got him on the news everywhere too now. The man went from debating Israel, cursing the Lord God. Now the Lord put your ass on the worldwide nation news summer jam screen. They literally got this man on the news now. This is crazy.
NBC6 reporter Kim Wynn is live in Miami Beach tonight with more on the arrest of the man known as Brother Polite. Kim.
Yeah, well, Jawan, the suspect surrendered here at the Miami Beach Police Department earlier this week. Police charged him with sexual battery of a 14-year-old girl. We did speak with his lawyer earlier tonight, who says that these charges are false.
You shot straight, but you shot late. High level. This is the Rundown Podcast.
I'm gonna give you the rundown. I'm gonna give you the rundown.
So yeah, not guilty, nothing else.
According to the police, 14-year-old girl in a hotel room in February. Police say the alleged victim was the daughter of a woman he was romantically linked to. Defense attorney David Terrace says his client is innocent.
Once the evidence is produced, that he is going to be exonerated. So yeah, not guilty, nothing else.
According to the police report, Nowak, a motivational speaker and author who lives in LA, asked the woman if he could take her daughter to an after party at a club in Miami. The report states Nowak took the teen to his hotel after seeing that the club was closed.
So it went from a club to a hotel. Right?
The club was closed.
Right, the club was closed. But
He had to know the club was closed.
What club closed at Miami, man?
But you know what's crazy?
Them damn clubs is open 24 hours.
Right.
Yeah, but you know what's even crazy? He even lied on the report. Because the mother's going to give the statement that him and the mother was talking, and that he said he was going to tell the mother's daughter, I'm going to go talk to your daughter, one-on-one conversation about how great your mother is and everything. You got to respect your mother and all of this stuff. So he told the mother that they're going to go downstairs and just go have a one-on-one talk. She didn't know that he was taking her to the club or even to the damn hotel. So they pressed charges on him and put the charges of kidnapping. This man.
That's what happens when you got all the damn sense and everybody else dumb. Because he used to finessing people.
Right.
And
there's a 30-minute video I got as well too of damn near 40 people, damn near more than 40 people testimonies of how this man finessed them on some day trading joint. 40 different people testimonies of him scamming them. This dude is finished. Because you ain't just raped a woman's child. You didn't just lie talk about the black woman is God and he messed with a white woman. And then you raped the damn child. And then you scamming the people. And then you think we stupid. And you put in a post on the social media. And then you put in lawsuits on people. And your ass got sued by brother as well too. And then you shoot the Bible. You think the Lord ain't gonna get you? You wicked as hell.
That gave the teen alcohol and started dancing and touching the teen inappropriately.
So look, you gave her the alcohol, and then on the report it's going to show that he forced the alcohol down her throat. Literally. This is crazy, man.
Groping her breast, inner thighs, and buttocks. It goes on to say Nowak tried to force the teen to perform oral sex on him. The teen allegedly passed out and woke up to Nowak trying to make her throw up.
These are serious allegations, but in any situation, there is always motive. There is always a lot behind the scenes that the public is not going to be able to see.
The report states that the girl's mother found her intoxicated and possibly on drugs, with severe swelling on her mouth and lips. It later states Nowak told the mother not to call police because it would ruin his career.
Look at that. That is crazy. That is crazy, man.
Egyptology at its best.
At its best.
All right, and look, Egyptology is a big finesse in itself. All right, the whole from the doctrine to the look, they not even teaching classes, but everything is a finesse. The whole black woman is God doctrine, that's a finesse to get some. Let's just be honest. Like it just is. And now you walking around with all these women, all these beautiful women you got, but you chose a 14-year-old.
Right.
Now look at you, man. You sick. You just as bad as that. He might be the incarnation of that Canaanite from Susanna, man. All right.
Damn.
I got appreciate.
Wow.
Right from Susanna, man.
Bring it out.
This side, right?
Flock it. Did y'all hear what the video said? Rape, forced sex, punched in her mouth, got her drunk and intoxicated. This is a 14-year-old girl.
And she waking up.
And she's waking up, passed out. Like, what the fuck happened?
She woke up to him forcing her to throw up.
Forcing her to try to get the alcohol out the system.
And try to get the drugs out the system.
And the drugs out the system.
I'm telling you, man. And look at him, man. The most bolding picture in the world. Look.
I'm telling you, man.
Right. He is looking a little hammy.
Mad.
I'm telling you,
it's mad.
See, all they do is take you back to them coffin texts. Where they pedophiled the little boys. You know what I'm saying? And they said that the reason that they did it was because it was a form of domination over them, to prove their rulership over them. But if you already his king, you already got rulership over him. You don't need to pedophile him for him to be in submission to you. That's what you saying to justify you sleeping with little boys. If you would rape a woman, you would probably go homo too. That spirit has no bounds to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. What have you done that ain't been brought to light?
Yeah, hey, that's the spirit. Brought to light for Brother Polite. Right? The popo got your ass, and now you got the light right in front of your face now. Right? Man.
Whatever.
Bring what you got.
It's madness. This side, right? Chapter 1 and verse number 30. Right? Exalt not thyself, lest thou fall, and bring dishonor upon thy soul. So Nadine was just talking about how the brother always thought that he knew everything, huh? Right? He kind of exalted himself, right? He making videos here and there, boasting himself up to be something that he's not, man. Right? It says, and so God discovered thy secrets. These are one of them secrets that he's been hiding all along, being a pedophile, man. Right? Loving to try to get on that with young girls, man. Right? There's none that you can hide from the Most High. And ultimately, you're not going to hide it from your own people as well. Right? Everything is going to come out eventually. Right? And cast thee down in the midst of the congregation. He kind of brought him down low. Right? This is the lowest of the lowest. Right? And there's going to come a point in time where the Most High might put him to death, and that's the lowest you could go.
Because now what you got, people like the upper echelon of the Egyptology, people like Sinette and them, claiming that he ain't their friend now.
Right.
Y'all been his man friend and back in the
right.
1,000%. Now all of a sudden y'all ain't his friend and y'all don't deal with him. Huh?
Yeah, precept to back that up.
Because if he's doing it, hey, birds with feathers
flock
together.
Yes.
Y'all all under that Egypt Act. Maybe y'all got some little girls and some boys y'all been tampering with too. Huh?
Y'all gonna be some real jailbirds. Right?
It says, and cast thee down in the midst of the congregation, because thou camest not in truth to the fear of the Lord. Right? So he didn't want to come into this truth. Right? He always wanted to talk against it. But thy heart is full of deceit, right? There's many times where he lied about the case, man. Making it seem like he didn't do what he did. And then when all odds was against him, like there ain't no way to get out, now he want to confess, right? Just to get, like I was saying, just to get a smaller sentence, man, right? But even though you got that smaller sentence, no telling that you gonna even survive in there, knowing what you did. And even if you do survive in there, you come out. Somebody is on your head. Ain't nobody forgetting about this. You don't know what type of brothers or uncles she got. You don't know what type of family that is.
Oh yeah, and she's Simeon too?
It's over.
Forget it. And they in Miami too?
Seen what Simeon them did to Shechem.
Yeah.
And
R. Kelly, good point.
Genesis 34.
Yeah. Like, bring me
They
to
raped Dinah. It was Shechem raped Dinah.
Oh yeah, hold that. Get this real quick.
All right.
35.
Yeah.
This is the book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 10 and verse 35. Also, no man shall have authority to meddle with them, or to molest any of them.
Or to what?
Or to molest any of them.
See? No authority or to molest. You molest a daughter, man. Like, that's crazy. And there's so many videos of you calling Israelites rapists and all of this stuff. When you lying on us, lying on the scriptures, lying on the Most High God of Yahushua. And you the demon. You the one that's doing all of this.
Right.
And then you scamming. I still got the video, damn near 20 minutes long of you scamming people.
Hey, Salarki, he beat them people out of $400,000 on a fake pyramid scheme when he was telling them that they were invested in a co-op to build subsidized housing.
Right, and the land. Yeah, it's called. He called it New Covenant. New Covenant.
Same thing his New Wapian person he followed after was doing. What's his name? Dr. Malachi.
Yeah.
He had all them people living on one land like a compound.
And you know,
he around there sleeping with everybody, young girls. Same
Yeah.
thing with the damn Muslims, man. With the damn what's his name, man? What's the leader of them niggas? Muhammad, man.
Yeah, something Muhammad. Elijah Muhammad.
Sleeping with the little 13, 14-year-old girls had them hid away and they gave birth to babies by them and all that.
Elijah Muhammad and
And
Muhammad.
the nigga trying everybody except Israel have a green light for pedophilia, man.
Right.
That's why they all confederate against us, because we the only ones, according to our book, that's not acceptable.
Right.
Raping women is not acceptable. Even when the Lord told us that if we go out to war and we killed all the men and we took their women and their young daughters, we weren't supposed to rape them. We supposed to take her home, make her shave her hair, cut her nails,
give her a month,
and let her sit for a whole month to be well against her ex-god or whatever, and then you lie down with her and make her a wife.
God.
So even in that situation, we the only ones that move in righteousness, man.
In order.
With order. That's why they ask us against us.
Nowak was served with a DNA warrant in June and surrendered to police on Monday. Terrorist says the police report is only an allegation.
You see how it's going back and forth like
Standing
it's
still
only
is going backwards.
Hey,
that's why true success only comes to those high achievers who aspire for it.
Both first-degree felony sexual assault charges have been dropped.
That's a damn lie. They got the paperwork. So you see, a twofold front. In front of the media, in front of the people, he got to show that he's innocent. But they got the paperwork that this dude did it. That's why he tried to have the lawyer kick they had literal Israelites. You had Sakari Israelites in the courthouse, inside the room, listening to all of this. And they also had it on the Zoom so everybody else could hear it. And he still said it's a lie. Like, literally. And then he put a video on an Instagram the day that he got locked up in the court. He put a video of him at a party talking about they dropped the charges. I'm like, yo. The brothers literally said they see you get put in handcuff and the officer took you and put your ass in a Pokémon. But then you put the video of you in the club talking about the charges is dropped, and you party and you celebrate.
He was having his last party before he
Yo,
went to jail for the
right.
year. For real. That's what that was. But it's going away.
Yeah, that was, man. Look, man.
Let's start it off with this conversation right here. Again, I won't be talking about the case specifically for all the right reasons. I have legal counsel. They're going to do what they got to do. And the reason why I'm going to do this, because there's a lot of dishonest, wicked people out there. I've never seen nothing like this, where people literally prey on someone's demise.
What you call what you do
That's
in
what
Israel?
Both first-degree felony sexual assault charges have been eradicated. They're gone. Does this mean that there's no other fighting? No, it's plenty of fighting. They came up with new counts. Of course, nothing compared to those first-degree felonies, which is crazy, because that'd give you life or 30 years in prison.
That's
You
why
dig what I'm saying? But it's very interesting because a lot of people spoke out of turn, jumped out the window, accused me.
Trying to say I'm innocent. I'm gonna get 30 or life. So yes, I did. Give me a little time.
If the things that people say on YouTube was accurate, I mean, goddamn, you didn't even see me here today.
It's almost like he's trying to plead his case. He know this is still against him. He's just trying to make it seem like he ain't got nothing to do with me.
Get what you got real quick. Let me show you something.
Because he knew he was finished.
No statements talking about I never made.
Look, and don't trust nobody who lenses is bigger than their glasses frame, man.
Right.
All right? Now, this is the book of Isaiah. That's Isaiah chapter 66 and verse 4.
These are lies.
Oh, I'm trying to stop the video. Go ahead,
Isaiah chapter 66 and verse 4. I also will choose their delusions and will bring their fears upon them. Because when I called, none did answer. When I spake, they did not hear. But they did evil before my eyes and chose the things which I delighted not. Right? So he's getting everything that the Lord. Now, nigga, you're a part of prophecy. You're a part of that. Now you're a part of the book, that the very book that you hate. And it says, hear the word of the Lord. He said there's a lot of wicked people out there who will prey on your demise. And if you did it, you deserve to be locked up under the jail and into the earth and into a volcano. All right? Now it says, hear the word of the Lord, ye that tremble at his word. Your brethren that hate you, that cast you out for my name's sake, said, let the Lord be glorified. But he shall appear to your joy, and they shall be ashamed. Now look at you, nigga. I'm sorry, but it got to be said like that. Now look at you. You hated the Lord. You hated all his words. You hated his prophets and mocked him. You shot up the Bible. You spoke against the Lord in this manner, and you acted against the Lord in that manner. Now your ass is up in the jail cell. All right, you finished with completion on your ass. Like, come on, man.
Completely eradicated.
Yeah, he's been completely eradicated.
Shooting up that Bible, man, was the equivalent of you shooting at the spirit of the Most High, man.
Shooting the house.
That's
shot,
like
man.
saying you shot him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? To shoot the Bible. Like, that was just the dumbest thing you could have did, then, bro.
Get Psalm 64.
Yeah,
precept
bro.
too?
Yeah, I got one more. Right? Because he's doing all this because he planned on being in the Zoom. Right? He planned on being up in that Zoom call where nobody knows. You on the Summer Jam Grand Slam screen.
Try to hide it,
You're seen throughout the whole United States and up in Egypt where you claim to be at. Right? This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, Sirach, chapter 23, starting at verse 18. A man that breaketh wedlock, saying thus in his heart, who seeth me? So this person, he's kind of he's breaking wedlock by going against the Most High's laws and going with his daughter-in-law. Right? A man that breaketh wedlock, saying thus in his heart, who seeth me? I am compassed about with darkness. The walls cover me. Nobody seeth me. What need I to fear? The Most High will not remember my sins. This is his thoughts. It says, such a man only feared the eyes of men. Now, what did he tell his wife? This is going to destroy my career.
Right.
What did he tell the courtroom? Get them out of here.
Right, get them out of here.
Anybody but them.
Anybody but them.
Right.
Look, and this why, look, and this is why. This is exactly why he wanted shout out to Sakari, man. Acting as the eyes of the Lord, man. Look, such a man only feared the eyes of men, and knowing not that the eyes of the Lord are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, beholding all the ways of men, and considering the most secret parts. You tried to hide it from the brother to try to get them up out of there. Right. The Lord said, no. you gonna get this work, and you gonna be seen by the eyes of the Lord, man. The Israelites seen you. You're finished now. You're finished.
Good precept, man.
God.
What you got, Rick?
No, this just goes with even brothers was saying, man, about you pertain or you trying to be so wise, like you trying to be so slick, finesse. This is the book of Romans, chapter 1 and verse 22. Real simple. Professing themselves to be wise, they became fools. It's real simple, bro. You so slick, you just slicked yourself into the situation. You finessed yourself to the situation. You think you so wise, you think you so slick. Now you just look like a fool to the whole world. You on display now. Everybody can see you and see the real you. You know, so again, when you trying to be wise and not moving in the ways of the Most High, the foolishness gonna be seen.
And Salakia, you know how crazy this is? If y'all really analyze it, the Most High put this man on every type of media. The way that he promoted himself, he wanted to be on every type of media, celebrity star, and put himself with the reporters and all of this stuff, interviews and all of that. Now it's backfiring now. Now everybody know you for you being a rapist.
Salakia.
On the news.
Salakia. Hey, Ayar, you got to read from verse 21 to 23. Because that's touching on his whole basis and his whole stance. You got to read that. That's exactly what Polite did.
Yeah, Khan. This Romans chapter 1, verse 21. Because that when they knew God, they glorified him not as God, neither were thankful, but became vain in their imaginations, and their foolish heart was darkened.
Oh, Israelites made me atheist.
Right. But he also got in one of the debates where he actually admitted that he believed that there is something, there is a higher power, but he just wasn't gonna call it Yahweh.
I'm telling you, he's up in these scriptures. Keep reading.
Professing themselves to be wise, they became fools.
So now look at you. You was at a higher state, thinking you had all the wisdom of the world is foolishness with God, man. Right now, you brought down. Those who think themselves to be wise, let them become fools. That's what the scriptures say. Keep reading.
Man who think he is something.
He is nothing, deceiving his own self. Read.
And change the glory of the uncorruptible God into an image made like to corruptible men,
right? And
to birds, and four-footed beasts, and creeping things.
Isn't that what Egypt does? The bast. Right, the little cat guy with the panther head.
Yeah. And
Zobek,
Zobek the alligator.
Yeah. What about the one with the dog head? You got Anubis.
Yeah.
You got Thoth with the damn peacock head or whatever
you got.
Head
too. Osiris.
You got Horus with the eagle head. That's what they do. They change the glory of the incorruptible God into an image made like unto corruptible men and birds and everything else, man. Four-footed beasts, man. He don't even know he is. He is these scriptures kind of jumping off the paper. Everything that's unrighteous about man, he's proven himself to be.
This is one more thing. Salaki, this because again I know it's talking about Edom, but it fits him even for the situation. The book of Obadiah, verse 3 and 4. The pride of thy heart hath deceived thee.
Right.
Thou that dwellest in the cleft of the rocks, whose habitation is high, he hath set in his heart. Who shall bring me down to the ground? Again, Most High build them up. He's let them come as famous as possible. Because again, he's been doing this since 90. But no, I'm gonna let you come on every platform, social media, build yourself up. Y'all, God can't touch me. Who gonna bring me down? A God from the sky? And then verse 4 says, though thou exalt thyself as an eagle, Egyptology, and thou have set thy nest among the stars, then I will bring thee down, saith the Lord.
Woo!
So
Horus was
he's let him come. Yeah.
And Horus was the eagle.
And he's the eagle, right?
You know what's crazy about that precept?
He let him build himself all the way up.
Yo, you know what's crazy about the precept? The Lord said he set his nest among the stars.
Come on. Want to be celebrities.
The Israelites are the stars.
You're correct.
But set you right amongst us.
But look at the opposite.
The celebrities.
The all
celebrities. They let you build yourself up in his world, boast your chest out, And now you on every newscast for the wrong reasons they in your eyes.
Even after Malachi, he said, "You will build, but I will throw down."
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
What was that you brought out? 23 and 18.
Romans chapter
No, come
20.
on, shoot. You brought Sirach 23 and 18, right?
Con.
So this is the precepts of Sirach 23 and 18. This is 2 Chronicles 16 and 9.
Con.
It says, "For the eyes of the Lord run to and fro throughout the whole earth, to show himself strong in the behalf of them whose heart is perfect towards him." Right? So you already know that's Israelite. Those that keep the law, statutes, and commandments, the Most High eyes are always watching over us. That's why it's always a hedge of protection around us when we move. Right? It says, "Herein thou hast done foolishness." Hold on. To show himself strong in the behalf of them whose heart is perfect towards him. Herein thou hast done foolishly. Therefore, from henceforth thou shalt have war. Talking about this cat here. Possibly is an Israelite, but he's refusing to acknowledge the Most High ways. He going around blaspheming the Most High name, shooting up the Bible, raping daughters of Israel. All right? So the Most High said at this point now, my eyes are everywhere. You thought nobody wasn't going to see you, like the precept you brought out. You think that you hidden from the sights, but the Lord sees everything. So the Most High said, now it's war with this nigga.
Right.
I just sat back and let you just take all the cheap shots, all the shots. Now it's on. It's like kind of like when they train them animals, the tigers. They constantly hitting them with the whip and poking them and all that. Then finally one day, when it's a big show and there's 1,000 people sitting there watching, and the lion like, yeah, now I got the audience. You've been whooping my ass and doing me dirty in the back. Now I'm finna make a spectacle out your ass.
Right in front of everybody.
What's the white dude stuck his head in the lion's mouth and he crushed this shit?
Right. You want to show? I got you.
What was
right
that?
now.
What was that precept again, King?
That was 2 Chronicles 16 and 9. The Most High said, now it's war with you.
So
this is just the first hit.
So watch this. Like I keep saying, it's gonna get worse, right? It's gonna get worse. Right. Watch this. Whoever put this video together, they just did
Running your business without a tax strategy is like eating spaghetti without utensils. It's ill-advised and
You tripping, man.
What?
Both my damn eyes like this.
But what you should say is this, and what you should say is that. It doesn't work like that.
It look like them glasses a shark got. They're a woman glass.
I didn't pay 6 figures.
So watch.
A crime against a 14-year-old girl. According to court documents, the mother let her teenage daughter, 14-year-old, go with Brother Polite to a club. And for whatever reason, that's known.
You call him Brother Polite.
So look, it shows it right here. Look. Sexual battery, right? Sexual act with familial child, right? Boy.
His underage minor alcohol. He got her inebriated to the point that he did some inappropriate things to the young lady, and the allegations of
now, like we remember we was talking about Dr. Malachi York
about Polite and how his whole judgment came about with the allegations he had going on. Indeed,
there you go. So there's a guy called Dr. Malachi York.
Right?
This was his teacher.
And tons of people, right? Heap loads of folks testified that yes, he indeed did these nasty, vile things to these children.
Boys and girls.
Communication that his vehicle had pulled into a parking lot of a grocery store. The SWAT team was there, and the arrest teams.
Why would you be smiling when the police got you for pedophiling and raping and molesting a bunch of kids? No signs of remorse or nothing.
I did it. That's the one. No remorse.
Yeah.
And mind you, boys and girls.
Yep.
With him, little kids, boys and girls. Right? Watch this, man.
Our job was to make sure we could identify him. He got out of the.
And here's the crazy thing. I don't know, y'all probably don't know, like, African Barbado, right?
Yeah, him too.
He used to be with the Zulu
Yeah,
tribe, right?
yeah.
Back in the days, the hip hop nigga was with Tribe Called Quest, and Jungle Brothers, and all of them. He used to study under these niggas too, them 5%ers and all of that, and used to dress like this. And big time hip hop star. Come to find out, he was doing the same damn thing.
Con.
Madness.
Con. It's gonna all tie in.
Vehicle with the female. And was going into the grocery store. It was at
He got
that
the Star
point.
David on his head, man.
We see the arrest order now.
See, that's the audio. They caught him.
When York was arrested, that was the go-ahead for the rest of the SWAT team
Lord
to go
Coder
enter the compound.
The sheriff led
They all plead to what's acceptable.
After Malachi Z. York's
They know being an Israelite is not acceptable.
raided by
So they cleave to these religions that's accepted by the world.
Proverbs 17:15. So now, check this. Remember, we talk about Malachi Z. York being a child molester.
Yeah, I know.
With the
Yeah.
Egyptology, all of that stuff, right? They all effeminate everything. So look what this brother does. Look at this interview. This is about to get crazy.
Yeah, I saw that little pyramid just look creepy as hell. Like he had people up in there in general.
I'll show it again. And let's hold Proverbs 17:15.
This is not a water bottle. It's an air-up bottle that flavors ordinary.
And that's it. Now you can try to turn it into a conversation.
Line on Malachi Z. York, but this young man insists that Malachi did do this to him between the ages of 7 and 14.
I'm still on the half of
completion.
God. So this is a young boy that got molested by the dude Malachi Z. York. Now this is Brother Polite having an interview with the young boy. Look what he's saying.
the children or the people that
And you can see he jacked
have
up.
to testify or that testified to testify based on what he did do something to him. Well, I say have to testify because some people didn't testify. So some people felt that that they had to do this, like it's something that they had to do. For me, it felt like it was something that I had to do because one, like I told you, both my sisters went through the same thing I went through. And both my older sisters. Do you mind sharing? I don't know. Sharing, okay, well, both my sisters been molested. By Malachi, my pops, my wood, he saw his mom, we saw whatever, and I went through the same thing that they went through. Like, I'm my mother's only son. You know what I'm saying? So I'm the man of the family. You know what I'm saying? My sisters were gonna stand up for themselves, and I'm, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, okay, well, and then that's when I gave my statement, and that's when I decided that, that I was gonna go ahead and do it. So it's not no stranger, no random person that's saying, oh, this happened. I mean, this stuff, like, I was 7 years old. You know what I'm saying? I was upstate New York. After Brooklyn, I was upstate New York.
7 years old.
First, just touch me with the life, And so from 7 to 14, 7 years that I went through this. You know what I'm saying? And that's none of these children have enough sense in their mind to go tell their parents that this isn't right.
So now he's making the children like they the victims.
Yeah.
I mean, like they bogus.
Yeah.
None of these children had enough sense in their mind to go, motherfucker, they 7 years old. See, he's trying, excuse my
Victim
language, but
blaming.
he's trying to justify it by making it seem like the children should have spoke out if it was actually really going on.
Right.
The only way you would take a side like that, nigga, is because you're guilty of the same damn thing.
Exactly.
Right.
This is a way of you trying to vindicate yourself, but you ain't even been outed yet.
Right. Because it's a conscious thing.
Yeah.
You'll see the rappers, hey, like Meek Mill. He just did a whole presentation to like 1,000 people, right? He said that the music industry pays him more to
Purposely.
to rap destruction.
Negative
Right.
destruction. Yeah.
And so this is his way of
Rectifying
reconciling,
that wrong.
yeah, reconciling what he did wrong. He's doing the same thing. You really looking at him like he's praying. That's what I've been seeing this whole time, man. Looking like the dude from Iron Man, bro.
I don't
Like,
know down.
It's a lot of even too probably looking like, all right, trying to get tips for how it will happen to him. So you can maybe try to avoid. Okay, somebody won't speak out against me. How can I do it? Yeah.
Exactly.
So let me see wiser ways to not get caught up.
So listen to what this demon says. It gets
I was
worse.
sexually abused. Not one child out of all these children. It could have stopped so long ago if just one child or just one adult. What caused all of this to come out? First, you hear nothing from nobody. You hear nothing from nobody. Then you hear something from everybody, all at the same time.
They might not have been the medium to talk to anybody about the situation.
Not even your parents.
I mean, that's why, of course. I could have talked to I could have told my mother.
You chose not to.
Look at him. Look how you answering them questions, bro.
a child don't know how to articulate that type of.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't got Steve. You know what I'm saying? You got no. You know what I'm saying? You can't even face like my mother had to. She found out from my sister and she came to me and asked me about it. I couldn't even tell her. I had to say I had sex with the girl and he was dead. And that was my way of telling her that yes, it happened.
Why do you think he's locked up for 135 years, underground 60 feet, in a super max penitentiary with no one with a case license to his own amongst cannibals?
I can hear it, but I'm saying that people saying that kids haven't been molested. I can't see what you're seeing. I can't see I know what happened to me. I know what he did. I know what kind of person he is. You know what I'm saying? So
What kind of person is? That's the question. What kind of person is that?
I mean, you get what you see.
Let's say he molested
You see how they just cut
1,000
that out?
children.
Listen to this. Listen to this part.
Genetic evidence and everything. Things that we don't deny. Scientific.
So he said, let's say Dr. Malachi Z. York molested 1,000 children, right? And they got evidence and facts. Listen to what this scumbag says.
We say, wow, okay, true. If someone was to ask me, would you still worship him as your most high, acknowledge him as your most high God?
Damn.
Most high
As your
Yes.
most high. Acknowledge him as your most high God.
What?
Bro.
Yeah.
That's what he asked.
So when you brought out in Exodus, thou shalt have no other gods before me.
All right.
The key point to this man, look what happens. This man.
I would have to.
He said, I will have to.
You know, you want to. That's what
You
that
see?
is. You want to.
And that goes right back to Ayar's precept, man. All right? They acknowledge, they cast down the Most High God for a man. You changing the truth of God into a lie. You doing exactly, these Kemet niggas, look, you doing exactly what Esau did in regards to the image of Christ. You tore down the image of Christ and put up a pedophile in his damn stead, man. That's what Esau did with Cesare Borgia, man.
Yeah, he's a damn pedophile too. And a damn homo.
Right. Get Proverbs 17 and 15.
That's crazy.
So Salakian. So he don't remember. He's interrogating the kid and trying to have a victim blame him. Basically shaming him and saying it's your fault.
For not saying
A 7-year-old kid.
I'm very high on that.
Right? And then the dude asked him. He told the dude literally, if there was evidence of him molesting 1,000 children, and it was semen, which is what he was talking about, evidence on the children, he would still worship the man as the Most High God. This dude is sick, man. Proverbs 17 and 15.
And they didn't show these videos in the court.
They don't. You're right.
If they would have showed these
forget
videos in
it.
the court, he wouldn't have been able to get a 402 conference. They'd have gave his ass 30 years. You a goddamn predator, nigga. By your own words right there, you a predator.
Literally. Proverbs 7.
His teacher got what?
135 years.
He only got 7 and 10
underground.
years
Right.
of probation. Most High gonna do him worse.
He gonna do him
He gonna
worse.
do polite worse.
Come on.
Them a 30. He gonna do worse than the 130
He
years.
might not make it.
He ain't gonna make it.
gonna make it, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Because even Malachi, even Dr. York, when I was in the penitentiary, you know what I'm saying, I used to read his books. And one of the most notable ones was titled The 144,000. He acknowledged Israel. You know what I'm saying? He acknowledged the chariots
Yeah.
and all of that.
You know why? Because he used to be in One West. He used to be in One West. The elder was talking about it, and then this man left One West and started creating his own doctrine with the science of Esau, and going against the words of the Lord. So he knew the doctrine, but he still wanted to be a child molester. Man, bring it out, Ad.
There's Proverbs chapter 17 and verse 15.
Bring it out.
He that justifieth the wicked, and he that condemneth the just, even they both are abomination to the Lord.
You justify Malachi Z. York as being a rapist, and then you condemn the brother for getting raped. 7 years old.
You don't even know what the hell happening to him.
Right.
And what damn pedophile rapist you know gonna just rape a kid that young and don't threaten him? You might as well assume he told him, if you say anything to anybody about what we doing, I'll kill your mama, your sister, daddy, and you, or this is just me and your secret type stuff. You know how they be doing it, you saw them be showing what they be doing to him in the movies and all that. Come on, man. 7 years old. He don't know what the hell happening to him. This is why we raising hell in the world right now about what they doing with the whatever.
LGBT,
showing this stuff to our damn good kids because they don't know what that is.
That was at 7. He said it happened at 7 years old. He didn't know what was going on.
Right.
It didn't happen. He didn't understand what was going on until he had 14.
Yeah.
When he had 14, he knew exactly what was going on, and he had to say something. But Polite being so damn wicked, he trying to make it seem like ain't nothing happened, as if you were there. Now, I ain't gonna lie. He probably was.
Right.
Now that I think about it, he probably was. You willing to follow someone? You called him the Most High, right? You're willing to follow him no matter what he do.
He said he's willing to worship him as his Most High God.
That's different. Look, that's different from saying that somebody is Christ and you following them. You acknowledge this man to be Yahweh.
Man,
madness.
Blasphemy, man.
Blasphemy.
Sin unto death, bro.
Yeah, but Salaki is also giving. He might touch him.
This is
And that's why he
death,
like,
bro.
my God touched me, and he probably touched him and gave him a doctrine. And he just like,
repent.
this is the way.
There is no repentance for
Like-
blaspheming the name of the Lord, bro.
He didn't took the Lord.
You know they say like people that's been molested do the molesting.
And every damn video that he's ever been in debating the Israelite is going to be evidence against him being warned. Every last one of them videos that made you famous, that's got you now as a motivational speaker, traveling all around the world, making all this money, meeting up with all these damn pedophile Edomite stars, is going to be used against you.
Right.
You can't say you didn't know. Finish, bro.
It's the book of Proverbs chapter 18 and verse 5.
Bring it out.
It is not good to accept the person of the wicked to overthrow the righteous in judgment. And so he accepted a pedophile as his Most High God, trying to overthrow the Most High God. Like, you're finished, man.
And he said, even if the evidence is there,
I'ma still work.
He said 1,000.
Every idle
Even if
word.
it's there.
Every idle word.
Now, those words you say you condone rape and molestation and pedophilia.
I'm telling you, he was ordained from
I
old.
mean, bestiality.
Everything, right.
Bestiality too.
Right. And then you were Mason with the celebrities and all that stuff.
Too, then, huh?
Man.
This is a Hamite.
I'm telling you,
that's a Hamite's way of life.
You might be
Damn
a Hamite,
Egyptians
man.
are
I'm telling you, man. Ain't no way in hell.
That nigga ain't no damn Bill Jake, man. That man.
That's why he's so loyal to his
That
God.
nigga a hammy, man.
This the book.
Bring it out, man.
This the book of Isaiah chapter 30 and verse 1. Woe to the rebellious children, saith the Lord, that take counsel but not of me, and that cover with the covering but not of my spirit, that they may add sin unto sin. That walk and go down into Egypt and have not asked at my mouth to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh and to trust in the shadow of Egypt. Therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt be your confusion. So now, hey, since you want to trust in the ways of Pharaoh, look where the ways of Pharaoh got you now. It's got your locked up in the bank, man. Right? For we don't know how many years since he still got pending cases. It's
Pharaoh
restful.
them got away with it because during their time when they was doing it, they were ruling.
Right.
So as the ruler, he was able to make that like acceptable throughout his land. That was their custom.
Yeah. And that's why his ass ended up getting destroyed too. And so will America that set these laws in places also, man. It's restful America too.
Even after all the allegations, Polite said he would still worship Dr. Malachi Z. York as his savior. Wow. There's no mystery why he was victim blaming the victim, the young man who said that Dr. York did all these things to him when he was a young boy. 2 years after being silent about the whole ordeal between her teenage daughter and brother Polite, the former girlfriend of Polite, she had the...
So this is gonna be the testimony. This is gonna be the testimony of the woman, right? But this is gonna be the testimony of the woman, and we're gonna close it off with that testimony, right?
So like,
let me.
I keep looking at that ankh on his head. Look at that ankh. For one thing, you know how they say it's a rod and a you know yeah, that's a closed wound. All right, the little girl wound not even, she's 14. If that's the way that Kemet is coming, pause. All right, then it needs not to be. But for real, that's a closed wound when I look at it now.
Remember,
this is what represents y'all.
Remember, the cobblestone is like a woman's privates as well too. With the cobblestone, with that Islam that they worship,
right,
yeah, and then also the obelisk that the Egyptians have that stands up is a phallus, right? So before that, this is a book called the Josephus, right?
And not only that, nigga, you done destroyed her socially. She'll never be able to deal with a man normally if there was such thing as that, relationship-wise. When she do finally come into that age of herself where she's ready to start dating, every dude that she deal with, he touch her the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? She's gonna cringe and feel some type of way. She'll never have a normal relationship, or the guy himself may just feel like, damn, like gotta kind of lean back off of her because the way she gonna react is gonna make him feel some type of way like, damn, I ain't trying to take nothing, I ain't trying to force myself up on you. And then she gotta explain, it's not you, it's me. How can I have a relationship with a woman like that I can't even touch her because of what this Negro done done? Right. That's why the scriptures say that's like killing her.
Right. Destroy the spirit. So this is a good book to get. When a lot of people talk about Kemet Egyptology, they say everything came from Kemet, from the Egyptians, science, and all of this stuff. That's a damn lie, right? So this is called the Book of Josephus, page 61, chapter 8. It says that when there was a famine in Canaan, Abram went from there unto Egypt, and after he had continued there a while, he returned back again. So he's showing you what happened to Abraham when he went to Egypt the first time. Now after this, when a famine had invaded the land of Canaan, and Abram had discovered that the Egyptians were in a flourishing condition, he was disposed to go down to them, both to partake in the plenty they enjoyed, and to become an auditor of their priests, right? And to know what they said concerning the gods, designing either to follow them if they had better notions than he, or to convert them into a better way, if his own notions proved the truest. So Abraham liked to debate with a lot of people, right? He'll put the Most High God and the knowledge of the scriptures against all the heathens and their understandings. So Abraham had his bet. He's basically saying, if you know more than me, and you're living the best way, the better way, the laws of my eye, I'll follow that. But if I got the laws and commandments of God, like in the book of Babylon and Timbuktu, when it says the Jews, they carry their books and their laws wherever they went. And wherever they went, all the other nations wanted to be like us. We didn't want to follow them. We had the best of everything.
And in us doing, in us having our books and our customs with us everywhere we go, the Babylon and Timbuktu says that we had an advantage over all the so-called Africans Because we had our laws with us continuously, and we continuously knew who we were. That's page 91.
So now watch this. Look what Abraham did in Egypt. They don't talk about this. Paragraph 2. For whereas the Egyptians were formerly addicted to different customs and despised one another's sacred and accustomed rites, and were very angry with one another on that account, Abraham conferred with each of them and confuting the reasonings they made use of everyone for their own practices, demonstrated that such reasonings were vain and void of truth. So Abraham basically said, yeah, Egyptian gods, that's all fake, that's trash. It's not worth it. It's void of truth, right? Whereupon he was admired by them in those conferences as a very wise man, and one of the great wisdom when he discoursed on any subject he undertook. What is that speaking about? Whatever topics the Egyptians brought, and these are the Egyptian wise men, whatever topic they brought and had a conversation with Abraham about, he knew everything about that. Science, he surpassed them. Science, math, animals, how to deal with life, nature, he surpassed them in all knowledge. That's why they were like, damn, he's mad. Like, what the hell? We thought we knew this was the top scholar. And this Hebrew just come out of nowhere, and he's confounding all of us. Right? When he discoursed on any subject he undertook, and this not only in understanding it, but in persuading other men also to assent to him. He communicated to them arithmetic and delivered to them the science of astronomy. For before Abraham came into Egypt, they were unacquainted with those parts of learning. For that science came from the Chaldeans into Egypt, and from there to the Greeks also. So what is that talking about? Abraham was the one that introduced to the Egyptians astronomy and science and math. That's basically what it's talking about. So when they talk about the Egyptians with the pyramids and the stars and the moons and the stuff, they got that from Abraham. But now they want to take the credit. That's crazy.
You can't go to where the Israelites were residing at
and
read nothing that we had on the wall, seeing how you bastards tore down all our damn facilities.
And plagiarized. And remember, who was in Egypt? Joseph. Who did the Egyptians rely on? Joseph. Who's the one that saved Egypt?
He was the reason they was flourishing.
Exactly, for 7 years.
Because of the Israelites.
Because of the Israelites.
Hey, and when Egypt went through that famine, he had every resource known to man.
Prepared.
Man. Right.
Prepared. So when they say the Egyptians or the Kemets, they started everything first. No. Abraham is the one that gave you your science and your math. Who's a Hebrew. Finish this one. Got some damn nothing.
Egypt don't got nothing.
They don't got a damn thing.
Like I was saying, it's because all of those things are accepted. You see what I'm saying? On a worldly basis.
Right.
Because it's all lies. That's why we so hated as Israelites and coming and pushing the truth. Because our truth stands by itself. And that's why we can go into any one of their scholastic books. And y'all books speak to us, to who we are. And what we say is true. But they know our people not going to go out there and buy no book of Josephus. They ain't going to go get the Babylon and Timbuktu. They not going to pay for none of these books. Nigga ain't trying to read nothing.
They ain't trying to read a goddamn thing. Right? So let me show you this. Top. What is it? This man. Boy. God. This is the last video.
Partnership with Grainger, we've hit almost every type of event you can have. With our Keep Stock program, us not having to worry.
So this is the mother's testimony.
This is the first time I have spoken publicly about what you've done to my daughter and I. I have gracefully remained silent the last 2.5 years.
2 years.
2.5 years of pain.
Right.
Maybe just now sentencing for it.
Shock, disbelief, PTSD, constant nightmares, and daily triggers. Trying to help my daughter heal when I'm not even healed myself. What you have done to my daughter, myself, and my entire family is inexcusable. You hurt us all. You made me believe that you were such a great man, and you could do no wrong. You made me fully trust you, and for that, my daughter trusted you too. But the truth is, you're a monster. The very first time that I allowed you to be alone with my daughter, the very first time you couldn't even help yourself.
Babe.
You told me you were gonna be right back. You were going downstairs.
See? He said he was going downstairs.
Take vacation pictures. You told me that you wanted to have a one-on-one talk with her about loving and respecting me as a great mother that I was in Anne. And I actually believed you. I believed that you were going to bring her right back. I thought you were going to have this trusting conversation with her that you promised me. Her and I both trusted you.
Meaning like he being a
For
father.
a grown man to violate a child who trusted him, you should be ashamed of yourself. You plotted on me and my little girl. The entire time you knew what you planned to do. Isolate, intoxicate, then bite. You told me you were gonna be right back. You were going downstairs. You're gonna grab food and take vacation pictures. You told me that you wanted to have a one-on-one talk with her about loving and respecting me as a great mother that I was in Anne. And I actually believed you. I believed that you were going to bring her right back. I thought you were going to have this trusting conversation with her that you promised me. Her and I both trusted you. For a grown man to violate a child who trusted him, you should be ashamed of yourself. You plotted on me and my little girl. The entire time you knew what you planned to do. Isolate, intoxicate, then bite. You're gonna grab food and take vacation pictures. You told me that you wanted to have a one-on-one talk with her about love. A lifetime of trauma for my daughter and I. There's no way to seek help.
Oh, here you go.
That's why he went in and asked for a 402
And you thought that money would blind me.
plea and get the lesser sentence. Because if a jury would have heard this, that nigga would be in there with life. Because you premeditated this. You a damn predator.
So look what he told us.
That no human should ever even exist.
Oh, here we go.
Instead, you drugged her and took advantage of her. You sexually abused her. You forced alcohol down her throat.
See?
You then forced her to see things that no child should ever. You forced her to feel things that no child should have to feel. You forced her to accept violence that no child should ever have to endure. You forced drugs in her that no human should ever even ingest. She's my child. My baby. How could you? How could you? You could have killed her with all the drugs that were found in her system.
Oh my God.
That's why you try to have her throw it up.
Throw it up,
yeah.
The drugs and alcohol. You thought I'd be dumb enough to believe you over my child. And you thought that money would blind me.
And he lied. He tried to tell
your master plan
yo,
was
this dude is
mapped out
crazy.
perfectly, huh?
Oh, she
You
lying
thought
on
I'd
me.
be dumb enough to believe you over my child. And you thought that money would blind me. You thought I was going to be so blinded that I wouldn't notice when you returned her with bruises all over her body and her mouth busted, uncontrollably shaking. Absolutely not. And although you executed your plan and you got what you wanted those couple of hours, you actually failed. Because look where you're at right now. You have created a lifetime of trauma for my daughter and I. Before you, we never knew evil existed. You brought so much evil into our lives that early morning, and I'll never forget. I called you like 50 times and you wouldn't answer me. And I called her too, but you took her phone. You drugged my baby and you gave her no way to seek help. You left me no way to contact her or even know where she was.
That's why he called the police. So
yeah.
Jury, they'll never get to hear none of this because he called the police. So now it's a closed case between just the judge, him, and his lawyer.
Right. That's why he tried to kick. That's why he tried to kick the brothers out of the courthouse.
Yeah.
Because he didn't want her to say what she was gonna say. Because we thought it was bad. We didn't know it was this bad. We're like, hold on, this nigga is whoa. Oh hell no. Man,
Most High finna do him so
dirty.
bogus.
Dirty, y'all.
Finna do
She
him
lives
dirty.
with
I don't
this
see him
and
make
it's
it.
not
I don't
okay.
either.
Not that
She
7
feels
year.
uncomfortable around people and will live with this
Remember what you
forever,
said?
and this is not fair to her. You never deserved this. Shame on you for forcing evil on our youth. And you know, for a year, I questioned, how could you even do this to us? Her and I did nothing wrong to you. We trusted you. I moved across the country because I believed everything that you told me. But it was pure manipulation I see now. All you do is specialize in something false.
Immediately. Unanimous 12 yeas. Thumbs down his ass. They'd have been all standing up there doing this.
But you know what? I'm done breaking my head trying to question or figure out how you could do such a thing. It's so simple to me now. You're just a sick man. A man who you can have a plethora of women, but you simply prefer to have a child. And it's so clear now. I will never be able to fully trust another person doing the betrayal that you've shown me. And for that, I was not willing to trust 6 strangers and go to trial. Nor was I going to put my daughter through an additional trauma. This plea was in our best interest. You and I both know the evidence is extremely substantial. But even with that, I refuse to have my child be tormented when she's done nothing
Sitting
wrong.
on the stand with the lawyer, making her out to be a lie like he was just doing
You were
on
so
board.
worried about being labeled a sex offender, you did us a huge favor.
See?
You've done nothing wrong. All she holds is the truth. And I will say this. Although you were so worried about being labeled a sex offender, you did us a huge favor by admitting to guilt, period. So for that, I thank you. I truly thank you. Yes, mitigation took place, and I allowed it as long as it meant going to prison and you getting true help. Because true help means no more victims. The fact that you're only non-negotiable is to accept the second time shows exactly the type of man that you are. You know what you did in that hotel room. I know what you did, and my daughter knows what you did. DNA doesn't lie. There's no reason why your DNA
And then you wasn't even smart enough to use the condom.
Lotion at your real video doorbell.
Perhaps not be labeled a sex offender, but it doesn't take away from who you truly are. I wasn't going to waste any time going back and forth with you over a label. God will judge you for exactly the person He knows you to be. A sexual predator. So rest assured, I hope in the next 17 years of your life, you're reminded of the disgusting, terrifying, unforgettable act that you've done to my innocent daughter. Shame on you. And although you've caused a tremendous amount of trauma for myself and my daughter, we will and will always be superior of you, because a successful, honest career is something that you can never, ever have. We will both continue to stand against violence. My daughter will continue to persevere and be bright and intelligent and courageous young woman that she is. So Michael Nowak, I hope you enjoy prison, and God bless you.
You watching the Rundown podcast?
That nigga might
Boy,
not get home from jail.
He might. I know he definitely gonna touch it too. Yeah. Cause you know them CEO, they all say what you
now,
get.
They in there with you.
They watching this,
all
right?
that stuff.
The phone stuff, so
Everybody didn't hide that stuff.
Oh, you a
So now they
pedophile?
in there with YouTube and all that now, so they watching all this.
They know everything coming in there with.
Some of them might have followed him.
Right.
Man, for real, like was listening to the things that he was trying to teach up in that prison, man.
This is the only thing they ain't telling you. When he go to jail, because of the status that he had, he going straight to the PC. They're not even gonna put him in general population. He's going straight to PC, where he gonna be hidden from the type of cats that'll do something to him. He gonna be back there with the snitches and the people who done got raped or stabbed or hiding because they don't want to get hurt, and other people like him. He'll never see regular population.
Boy, he finished that.
Yeah, but even
so
too, man. So like,
close it
like
out.
that,
This the book.
And Slocky, one more thing. She said that he was begging her, don't go to the police and tell them because she's gonna mess up his career. And she said the look in his eyes was the look of fear because he realized that she don't give a damn about the money. He tried to pay her off. She didn't want the money. So now he's shook. So he tried to hold her, she tried to leave out the house. He's holding the door, like, nah, you ain't going nowhere. That's why she said it was for 2 years. She didn't want the money. And then he put the video.
Even thought
yeah.
about killing her.
Right.
That's all. He might even thought about that.
And one thing with that pedophilia, sexual assault, that goes with you for life. Right. Like you gotta even once you get out, even off them 10 years, you gotta register each year. As a sex offender. You gotta have a sign in your yard. Yeah.
Okay.
You gotta have that sign in your yard, cause like even in they hella days, like Halloween, kids can't come trick or treat. You gotta have a sign in your yard.
And the sad thing is too that every time the people in any neighborhood you move into,
they can look it up.
You a pedophile, they can go right down and petition and have you forced out of the neighborhood.
Especially
we don't want him in our neighborhood.
So look, this is him. Look.
Your life finished.
Right.
Don't try to do
it. You see? He's right there. Look.
You were set up for failure. I feel like complaining about your hardships or doubting your ability to transcend.
Boy, you definitely gonna transcend, man. Look.
They've given us vaccines that have formaldehyde.
So now he's putting this, and look.
Blessings in abundance. The mother and the daughter and the prosecution dropped every single sexual charge.
You see how this daughter's alive?
But you heard what the mother said.
Right.
It wasn't that they dropped the charge, they just chose not to go to trial.
Because they want to put on stand.
Want the daughter to have to go on stand and have to testify and relive what happened to her over and over, and how this nigga third degree interrogating her, making her like she a damn liar, to the point that she can start breaking down and crying on stand. Yeah. Now she's not a viable witness. Right. You see what I'm saying? No, she wasn't gonna let you play that game with her daughter.
Make sure your ass is in jail.
Yeah.
So look, it's the video right here.
They wish I was guilty. Fuck it, they feel like going tit for tat.
See?
He doing all this because he know he's gonna
go
go
to
to
jail.
jail. You know he's going.
You know how you know he about to go to jail? All of a sudden, now he want to work out. All of a sudden, now you want to work out.
He's still skinny.
Look at his face on that picture down there, man. The third one to the right.
This one right here, right?
Nigga looks like he know he's guilty.
Pull up the mumbo.
Close it out.
Look,
man.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 27 and verse 24.
Bring it out.
I have hated many things, but nothing like him. For the Lord will hate him. Whoso casteth a stone on high casteth it on his own head. And a deceitful stroke shall make wounds. Whoso diggeth a pit shall fall therein.
See? Whoso diggeth a pit, like how you scam the people, and now you're gonna fall into that as well too. How you try to lie on the mother and the daughter, now you fell into that same situation as well too. How you talk about the Israelites as pedophiles and predators and rapists, now you fell into that too. And they got paperwork on your ass. You know?
He that setteth the trap shall be taken therein. He that worketh mischief, it shall fall upon him. He shall not know whence it cometh.
Right? Those sentences against the evil work ain't judged speedily. Enter to the hearts of men to commit the evil and wickedness. So he thought he was safe, but the Lord was waiting for the perfect time. You know?
And remember what happened with Jeffrey Dahmer, right?
Oh yeah.
When he went to jail, they put him in PC as well. Who got him?
Oh yeah.
Jake.
A nigga in PC.
Yep.
So he still ain't safe. Even
He
in
ain't safe,
PC.
yeah.
Somebody in PC will still do him in.
Hey, Jeffrey Dahmer's an Edomite. He didn't speak against how Shemel was shot. He didn't go against the Israelites in the Bible.
He actually was working for the Lord because he
right.
was killing all
the homosexuals.
Right.
None of these dudes shot the
keeping
Bible.
the
Right, he was keeping the law, huh? For real. He was a death angel.
He was keeping the law from
on
Moses
the left hand
day,
side.
man.
Right. But none of these dudes shot the Bible. This man is finished. You know?
Called another man the Most High.
Right. Mockery and reproach are from the proud.
See?
But vengeance as a lion.
As a what?
As a lion.
As a what?
As a lion.
As a lion, read on.
Shall lie in wait for them.
And you know what's crazy about that lion? Because remember, for Egypt, they also have what? The eagle. Right? But in 2nd Esdras chapter 11 and 12, it shows the lion devouring the eagle. So vengeance came like a lion that was waiting for him, you know?
They that rejoice at the fall of the righteous shall be taken in the snare.
But check this. He ain't righteous.
No.
He's not righteous.
He's the one rejoicing in the fall of what
The
he
righteous.
did to that little girl.
Right.
She was right.
Right.
In regards to that act. He rejoicing with the party and the rapping
Come.
and the bottles.
Come.
Knowing in his mind he guilty.
And like Deuteronomy said, that sin is like unto murder.
Yeah.
Man, the blood of the righteous cry out, man. You know what I'm saying?
Hating your brother and raping a woman are both the equivalent
to murder.
Of murdering someone. And murder is a sin punishable by death. There is no repentance for that.
And anguish shall consume them before they die.
Whoa, you know what is that anguish before they die? Hey, Big Rex is in that penitentiary with him. He want to talk about the Holy Bible where he's about to get a whole bunch of new hopes. Right? Yeah, man. So,
I wouldn't be surprised even if a damn Aryan Edomite get hold of his ass. That's that narrow been talking all of that coon talk. Right. Up in here for raping some young girl, huh? Go get baby Bubba.
Right. Bubba Sparks.
You go back there and walk yourself to PC and you deal with that boy. They'll do that, man.
They'll
take
do that.
somebody in jail that's got natural life, that's never getting out, and they'll tell him, man, walk yourself to PC. Tell them that you in fear of your life, they're going to put you in protective custody, and when you get back there, knock his head in.
So this is the video I was talking about. I'm sending it on the group chat. You can check it out yourself. I thought it was 37-minute video of all the people that he victimized, that he scammed. That's
madness.
I'm telling you,
$400,000 he got out of them people, man.
That will praise your how about Shemel Shai. Call me a show.
Call me a show.
Damn.
Damn.